Bad News Brown breaking it down. Yes, election day, man. So everybody's scrambling. We want to know who gonna be the face of the good old Uncle Sam. So I'm gonna film live and direct. You understand? So regardless who you voting for, because I already told you before how I feel, you need to vote for yourself. But I bet you one thing: tomorrow, regardless who wins, I bet you still got to get up and go to work, huh? I bet that the bills still need to be paid, huh? You still gonna have all the same problems you got, huh? Alright, okay, so let's continue. But now, yet and still, there are differences between it, who's the president, the face of the machine. So that's what this is all about. So who's gonna be the president of the corporation? And so far, Donald Trump is ahead. Now I know you need a certain amount of electoral votes or whatever, and so far as we speak, Donald Trump is up 19-3. Now this is very early, still in the race. So if you voted for Kamala, don't fret. It's still early. You understand? And if you pushing for Trump, don't celebrate because it's still early. Trust that. So now here we go. Now in certain states, that you want to win because depending on the state, so states with more population got more, I guess, electoral votes or whatever. So like for instance, I'm in Cali, so California is the most populous state in the U.S. So we got more. I think we got like 5. I'm not sure, but we would have more than a state like Idaho, who may got 1 or 2. It works something along that way, but along them lines. But anyway, so like I was saying, it's gonna be certain states that's more key than others. Now, right now, as I'm looking, they viewing Kentucky right now. Trump is up 71%. Harris 26, and Kentucky with certain states you already know because they traditionally swing one way or not, so it's like no secret. Certain states, then there is what they call them swing states. I'm not exactly sure which ones is the swing states, but again, as we speak, it appears Trump is in the lead, and like they saying, it's gonna be tight races expected in the key states, like I was just mentioning. So let's stay tuned. But again, whoever you voted for, I hope you did your research and know what you voting for. Again, I don't identify too much with the identity politics as I did in the past, because now is more or less they gotta put their money where their mouth is. I don't care how you look. I don't even care what you say. What you gonna do? And I can kind of look at your track record to tell, but at the same time, that may not be the case. But what you gonna do? I'm from the show me state. Hell, I might as well be from Missouri. So you gonna have to show me, and that's how I look at it when it comes to these politicians and politics in general. You understand? And again, man, politicians, they like lawyers. You got good ones, you got bad ones, but you got to be slick to be a good politician. So if you hear me make a statement saying all politicians is dirty, even though I don't really use that word, I will say they actors. Now, I don't mean they necessarily bad, but hey, you gotta know how to play the game. And if you're good at playing the game, you're going to make it to the top. You understand? That's how I look at it. Since I know how the game is played, I kind of address it that way nowadays. You understand? So, hey, man, what you going to do for me? Not even necessarily quid pro quo, but I know you can say one thing and mean another thing. Double talk. But anyway, it ain't about me. It's about y'all and who y'all want to win. You understand? So, man, too bad I ain't filming this live because YouTube, they won't let me in the door yet, y'all. So this is pre-recorded. So by the time you see this, probably already gonna know who won. And again, like I said, I bet them damn bills still need paid So, hey, man, the show gonna go on. So that should motivate you to kind of insulate yourself from the riffraff up top. Meaning, regardless who the face is, man, we still getting it. You understand? We gonna make it. We still moving on up. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jeffersons, regardless. So, and we not putting all the issues such as jobs. See, all that, I look at it, to me, it's the same. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? But for y'all, hey, if you think creating more jobs and this is that, and basically what I'm getting at, can't look at them to do that. And this is why more young men and women, especially of my likeness, need to get into business. And this is all people, really. You know what I mean? This ain't no racist. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no black thing, but it is a black thing because I'm black. You know, so naturally I'm gonna be speaking to my people. But anybody could benefit from this knowledge I spit. But again, man, let me look. Let me know where we at. Let me tap in. 19-3. See, Trump still up on electoral votes. And what's the next state on deck? Is it Texas? See, Texas might be one of them key states. Even though Texas, they more conservative. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with Texas. Although in recent days they have been getting more liberal. Like they got pockets of liberalism. You know, I'm hearing different stuff. I was just in Texas not too long ago. I did a video about that too. Y'all check it out. Why I think they sip a whole lot of damn lean out there. You understand? Again, they pretty conservative down that way. So check that out. But yeah, it's a little close so far. Where they at? Okay, now they just flashing. See, Pennsylvania's Kamala Harris up. She won that. And I'm watching a few different channels, so it's like closed circuit TV. You know how one channel flashing this, one channel flashing that. So now, U.S. support for Israel is too strong. 30%, 37%, about right. 26%, not strong enough. See, now they showing the senators and all that. And again, regardless who you vote for, it is, of course, important that you do the research again, so you ain't just voting by name and face. And a lot of people do that. It's funny because one of the things back in the day I learned that Abraham Lincoln probably wouldn't even got elected if they had TV back then. If they really knew how he looked, because as we know now, Abraham Lincoln, he was a lot of people say he had some African in him, and perhaps, but he was more, from what I'm hearing, like Melungeon, with they, from the, not necessarily Appalachian, but somewhere up in that, and he might definitely have some Indian African ancestry in him. You know what I mean? A lot of other people too. And of course, the first president on a $2 bill, and that's a different story. But anyway, Leah, they say Lincoln wouldn't have got elected if they knew how he looked. Of course, they heard him. They read his speeches, but you got to think they didn't have TV. All they had was Pony Express to get the news. And if y'all know, the Pony Express was cats on horseback basically spreading the news from town to town. You understand? And that's why information is so important, y'all. Y'all need to think that. Now we got whoever controls information controls everything. You understand? And that is a damn good example. But again, Lincoln wouldn't have got elected if they knew how he looked. Because and that means you can just be ugly, whatever that mean, or just funny looking, or whatever the case may be. But people tend to go by that appearance or whatnot. In a lot of cases, not all cases, but that's a good example because even now with the TV and all that, people still doing that, and that's what we call identity politics, as opposed to their policies, what they stand for. But again, this, I mean, some will say two sides of the same coin, or Huey Newton would say the only good voting does is show that it don't work. So it's all kind of angles and levels to look at. You know, I advocate positioning yourself in a way that don't none of this matter. You know, but let's tune in. Let me tap in, man. Enough talk. But yeah, man. Where we at? Where we at? The decks close to close shortly in about 3 minutes. What state? Okay, see now on this one they doing live Wisconsin, live Pennsylvania. On this channel here, Georgia, yeah, New York, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Alright. Trump up in North Carolina, 5147. We gonna see, y'all, and we gonna see. I know a whole lot of people gonna have something to say.